Hi there, I'm Toby, coming to you from Venture Out Nursery on Whidbey Island, here in our lovely greenhouse today to talk about starting seeds. A few things you need if you're going to grow plants from seed. You'll need a container to put them in. I like to start with a plug tray. You can get a lot of seeds into a small space. We use a non-perforated tray that our plug tray goes in so that it catches the water. You can also use this for sub-irrigation, so you can actually put the water in the tray and then the soil will soak it up from the bottom so you don't wash your seeds away. A humidity dome is also really helpful. Seeds need humidity and warmth in general to sprout. So a humidity dome helps, as does a seedling heat mat. So I like to use this size because I can get 2 trays on there, but they make single tray sizes as well. A fine spray cedar nozzle is great because you can water then your seedlings and it's gentle on them. The big heavy droplets don't knock them over and it doesn't wash a fine seed out of the soil. You don't have to use plastic. You can use a bigger tray if you like, or a bigger pot. We use these coir pots as well. And then the seedling mix potting soil is very important. It's a fine texture and really good drainage. And it's easier for the seedling roots to penetrate. So rather than your average potting soil, I prefer a seeding mix to start. You'll need a tub for your soil to go into, lots of water to pre-moisten your soil, and I like a trowel to mix with. We got these great stainless steel trowels at the nursery. They're nice and sharp for easy digging, and they've got a nice wide scoop. So step 1, put your soil in your bucket, which I have done, and then moisten. And it takes a lot of water and a lot of mixing. So here we go. Now that we have the soil all mixed with water, we will fill our seed tray. So I like to just pour it out, rub it over, and then we'll make sure to gently firm the soil into the cells. Once you have your tray filled with soil, or mostly, it's time to sow your seeds. I am sowing this deliciously fragrant sweet pea called April in Paris that's grown by Deep Harvest Seed, our own Whidbey Island seed company, which I love. So whatever your seed, there's usually planting instructions on the back, which will tell you 2 important things: whether or not your seed needs light to germinate or dark, and the depth that you need to plant it. A rough rule of thumb is for seeds that like dark, you can plant them about twice their width deep. But that's just a rough rule of thumb. So definitely check your package. Sweet pea seeds like dark, and they're a little bit big. I don't know if you can see, but they're a little smaller than a pencil eraser. So we're gonna poke a little hole. Some people use a twig or a pencil or something, a little dibble stick to make a hole, but I just use my finger and I make a little depression into the plug and then drop my seed in. Then, once I've gotten all my seeds in their depression, I'll just take a little bit more of the moistened soil and pop it on top. You can also, because this is seed starting mix, this works really well. You can also use a fine layer of vermiculite. I think it's important to make sure that it is moistened though. But tuck those babies into the dark, and then the final step would be to write yourself a label and note what your variety is and the date that you planted it. And then you can place your humidity cover on, and you want to put your seeds in the bright, well, as long as they need light to germinate, You want to put them in the brightest light you have. And any seed, once it's germinated, you want to put it in the brightest light you have. So maybe under a grow light or in a very, very bright window. For germination, I like to use the heat mat, so I'll put these on a heat mat under a grow light. Once the seed has germinated, you'll take it off the heat mat. They really only need that to get germinated, but not necessarily to grow. Possible exceptions would be like tomatoes and cucumbers and things that need it hot. But you want to keep that light very intense. Remove the humidity dome once the sprouts are up a little bit. And then air circulation is very important. So maybe a fan blowing, or just come and gently tickle your plants. Once they've gotten a few sets of leaves, you can start to move them outside into the sunshine and the fresh air. You want to start slowly. It's called hardening them off. So you would start with an hour a day, and then maybe a couple hours a day, and gently get them acclimated to whatever the weather, temperature, air is. And that is some seed starting basics. Come see us in our beautiful greenhouse. It's always changing. Thanks so much for watching. Happy seed starting.